Hello fellow Weirdlanders, today we're talking about the early access Steam game Weirdlands. We're also going to provide the trailer of the game for you that will be at the end of the video with the timestamp if you want to check that out as well. Weirdlands is a monster taming indie RPG, which has been described as a mixture of Pokemon, Shin Megami Tensei, and Earthbound. If that sounds exciting to you, make sure to like and subscribe and let's jump on in and talk about this game. And I do want to mention that we were provided a Steam key to this game, so a huge shout out to the development team for sending us this Steam key, and we're really excited for future Weirdlands content working with them. In addition to being described as a combination of those many games we just mentioned, this game is also inspired by Final Fantasy, and the store page states, a lockdown during crisis, you can't go anywhere, at least not until a portal to a magic land opens in your bedroom, and that's where you start in this game. You quickly see in your bedroom a book flies into it, some magic chalk appears, and you deal with the magic portal, in addition to some really cool things like a bootleg Akira poster, and other fun and smart dialogue and interactions that you'll see early in the game. You'll also quickly find you're rewarded for exploring your environment throughout this game. You have to find things to fix ladders, you have to use your phone flashlight to go into some frog in the very beginning of the game, but none of this is explicitly stated to you. You have to use your own intuition, dialogue from the game, and descriptions of the different items you have in your inventory as you're exploring this world. Three things stood out to me initially when I first started playing this game. The first thing was the art style. It's not quite pixel art, or maybe it is and I just don't have a good definition of pixel art. It's like 2D and a half, and it's really smooth in how it plays. You end up having this magic costume, wizard costume from Halloween that you're using, and the way that flows as you're walking around, the way you interact with characters was really smooth and polished. The second thing that stood out was the music is like kind of ominous and like 8-bit, 16-bit. It was just kind of a throwback kind of game that I really enjoyed. And then the third thing I noticed was the very ominous overtones of the game. Many times it's mentioned that you're in lockdown, you can't leave the front door, there's like kind of like an overlord, kind of Big Brother-esque presence through the media that you see, and it's just a lot different than what you typically see in monster taming games, especially with this art style. You can check your progress and recent tasks in your adventure journal, but it's not laid out like a game typically would. It's a lot more unique and colorful in the way it shows you what's going on. It's like doodles. It's like if a kid were to doodle in their book like what's going on, what their day looks like. And I thought that was really charming and a really cool way to show your progress in the game. The game really kicks off once you go through the glowing portal in your bedroom and you're transported to a magical world literally that uses magic to capture and tether spirits in their world. The dialogue and character interactions really stand out at this point in the game as well, and continues to be a strong point as I'm playing through this game for the first time. Although I'm still on my first playthrough of the game, I do want to mention that there's a new game plus that will completely change both the story and gameplay mechanics of the game. I wasn't aware of that going into this, and I'm really excited to get through my first storyline because I imagine it's going to be a lot of twists and turns, and then play New Game Plus and see how the game entirely changes. Once you get further along in the magical world, you get a tutorial on how the game's battle mechanics work. You as a player character are able to fight the spirits that you're going up against. You're soon introduced to greater spirits, which serve as the core spirits you use in this game, and then everything you're fighting is what you want to capture. You combine your greater spirits with lesser spirits, and you use them as loadouts or equipment. And each great spirit is going to have a very distinct and very powerful special trait. As of now, during early access, there are 8 greater spirits that are planned to be included in this game. We are planning to provide a detailed breakdown of all 8 greater spirits, their special traits, their stats, and a breakdown of lesser spirit, their skills, and the best combinations to use them in. So make sure to subscribe to our channel here and follow us on Twitter for more Weirdlands updates and guides. I'm still wrapping my head around the combat system, but at a very basic level, it is turn-based. I've seen up to 4v4 in the trailer, and you have a mixture of commands that include attacks, guards, capture, and tethering. So there's a lot you can do in terms of your monster catching and your turn-based battling, and you have the additional mechanic of combining your greater spirits with lesser spirits, which I'm really excited to explore. I love the idea of Shin Megami Tensei, even though I haven't quite played that game fully yet. It does remind me of Jade Cocoon, which had a lot of monster fusion and combinations. So if it's anything like those games, I'm really excited to explore that system and explore different combinations and optimize teams for different parts of the game. Similar to Pokemon, you do have a way to categorize the spirits that you capture. I believe it's called the Pandemonium, I hope I'm saying that correctly, and you can see your different spirits in there. You also have the elements, which gives you some more background on the game. It serves as a little bit of a guide as you're going through. And of course, you have your handy dandy adventure journal, which again is going to help you keep track of your progress as you move throughout the game. Like we mentioned earlier, this game is currently in early access and is in active development with receiving updates and changes to the game. And this game right now is roughly 7 or so hours. I don't know if you can get to New Game Plus after that 7 hours. I would imagine though you have to complete the full story, which isn't released yet. Those who have played through those 7 or so available hours have mentioned the complex gameplay, the interesting merging mechanics, and the excitement for New Game Plus to continue the story in a much different way. And as we play through the game for the first time, we'll also provide our thoughts here on the channel, hopefully get some streams going, and are really excited to see what this game has to offer in full. If you are looking forward to checking this game out, make sure to check our description down below to see the Steam page. Also follow this team on Twitter and join the Discord to be part of development discussions, feedback sessions, and other ways to contribute to this game as it is in early access. Overall, I would recommend you check this game out if you're a fan of Shin Megami Tensei, Earthbound, and Pokemon, if you're excited to try out a new monster taming indie game, or you want to get in on a development discussion of a new game early in its cycle. We're excited to share more content of the game as time goes on, and as always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to like and subscribe, and before you go, make sure to enjoy the Weirdlands trailer coming up next.